Well, good morning everybody. I'm very excited. I'm going to share with you today my new rig, or my new rigs. I'm going to be showing you the new ski I've got, and I'm going to be taking you through its first ever ride in the water. Now, I've been searching for probably months to try and find the perfect ski for what I want to do. I've got some really good plans for adventures, which I can tell you about later on. But I needed a ski that kind of suited what I wanted to do, and I've been using a GTI 130 for a little bit, which I have to say is an extremely versatile ski. Don't underestimate those GTIs with the GTR packages. You can do a lot with them. But I've gone away from that, and I want to show you what I've got, so let's have a look. And keep in mind, I've been looking at everything from GTR X300. I got close to getting one of those. It's the 300 jammed into one of those GTI hulls, which is ludicrous. But I didn't go that way. I looked at the GTX 300s. There was some run out pricing on the 24 models. I looked at the new GTX 300 Limiteds with the 325 touchscreen. Quite liked that, but didn't go that way. So what did I get? Let's have a look. So here it is. rxtx 325. You have no idea how excited this makes me. This is a 325, first time I've had a 325. And look at this red. I mean, really? It looks so much better in person too, you would not believe it. I have not even taken it, hasn't touched water yet, so this is its first run. Isn't that pretty? Very pretty. This looks fast too. So one of the differences with the RXT is you have the RXT, the X sponsons, which I don't know how much different they are, and they bite a bit more, but there's not a lot of difference. And it's got the ST3 hull. That package, you get the footwells, ergo lock. Other than that, it's not much different to a GTX. So this is your storage option in the ST3 hull in general, really. I'm actually, if I'm honest with you, I'm a bit more of a fan of the poly hull. The GTI, GTR and the RXP have the same sort of larger glove box. That works a treat for me. I can put a camera or something straight in and out, very easy to get to. Whereas the glove box on this, pretty tiny, you don't really get much in there. But you still have quite a bit of storage, it's accessible. There are some benefits to having this up and down. And I got one of these too, which I haven't had a chance to put in. That just sort of sits in there, and you screw it down, and that should give me a bit more variety or versatility with what I'm putting in and out. Cameras straight into the storage, that'll be good. So you probably have seen in my videos in the last year or so, I've been driving and towing with a Tesla, and I've gone away from that too. It's a controversial thing because I actually really like the Teslas and the EVs, and towing, you don't even know there's something behind you. They're just so good to tow in. The only thing they aren't good at is range. So I was getting about 200 to 210 kilometers on a full charge, which is just not enough when I'm towing. I need to be able to go long distances without having to worry about being near a charger. And I also wanted something I could get anywhere with. And what I mean by that is I want to be able to go on any boat ramp, get down and out, maybe even launch off sand. And I want to be able to get down gravel roads. There's a few lakes and places I want to go to, which you can only really get to if you've got a four-wheel drive. I mean, you'd probably be okay with the two-wheel, but I certainly wouldn't have been okay taking the Tesla down there. So let's have a look at what I've got. There it is. I've gone with the Hilux GR Sport four-wheel drive in like a pearl white. Absolute beast. Now I'm going to get probably about between 600 and 800 kilometers depending on where I'm driving, I reckon, on a tank, a diesel. And yeah, it's just way more suitable for what I'm going to be doing. I've only used it once. I took this to the Therup ski event. Had quite a bit of sand on a shallow ramp there, and a couple of people on the two-wheelers were having trouble. Not this bad boy. Chuck it in four-wheel low on the bottom and out you go. So that's what I've got. That's what I want. And again, yeah, it's the kilometers and the range that I'm going to get with that that are going to give me the perfect all-round solution to go on adventures. Got the ute, the rig, and I got the ski, the rig. The perfect rig to get out there on the water. I'm way more excited than I look, and I'm just pumped to try this out and just pumped to be able to go on adventure with this setup. So let's go and give it a go. Let's get it on the water. Alright, so one thing to remember about new ski, I've got a 5-hour run-in period, so I'm not going to get the absolute best out of the ski for a while. So I've got about an hour, I think an hour and a half here on the water before it starts getting too choppy. I'm going to come back, so I'll put at least an hour or two on today. I don't know what that's going to do in terms of restricting it, but yeah, first time on a 325, so let's give it a go. Alright, now I'm heading off from, if you know Tauranga, I'm heading off from the Marae ramp, which is just before the Tauranga Harbour Bridge, and I'm going to head out into the harbour, past the port, and then out to probably see if I can get out to Omokoroa, get a coffee, see what the weather's doing. Let's start it up first. Health for the key in. Oh yeah. I can hear all 325 ponies. Oh, it feels good to be on an RXT again. I have to get a new glove. Check that out. What an absolute beast. You can tell it hasn't even started accelerating yet. Still in the 5 knot zone. And you come past the marina. And I've just put this wall in not long ago. Probably helps with the marina. Less wake. There's a 5 knot zone out until you get to this. I find this is probably one of the best ramps, at least in the Mount Maunganui. There's Pilot Bay ramp, which is just absolutely mental sometimes, and people don't really respect the vehicle trailer rule down there. So I find you come here, there's always a spot for you. You've just got to get out through this little bit here to get into the harbour. So far so good. It's nice being on the bigger hull again, and it certainly it feels a lot more comfortable at higher speeds. I know I wasn't going super fast, but when you're on a GTI and you're cruising at 70 plus, it feels like you're going faster than that. And this was looking down going, oh geez, I'm over 70, 75. That's only k's per hour, by the way. This can go a lot faster than that, but it just, you don't know you're going that fast. It's super comfortable. Once you get around the harbour, you cut across the channel. You've got to keep your wits about you there. And then once you're on the other side, you're on the eastern side of Matakana Island. And now I'm going to go around that way. So around there. And see if I can get round to Omokoroa. Might put a bit of speed on, see how we go. Okay, we are now on this side of the island. And it's cleaning up, so I'm just going to start putting the throttle down a bit, see how this goes. It's having a bit of fun with the music on too. Let's go. Whoa. It's definitely limiting it, like the acceleration's not there, it's limiting that. I'm obviously not in sport mode. Top speed's limited too, it's about 103k an hour, I don't know what that is. does that equate to? Probably about 60 mile an hour, so 104k an hour, which is still 14k an hour faster than I was getting on the GTI. So trying to get to Omokoroa from here, basically you can go around that island. I forget that island's name, I have to look that up, maybe I'll put it in the video. You go around there and then pop in a 5 knot zone, or you can go around this side of the island, and it's usually a lot calmer in these conditions. So I'm going to try and go that way, see if it's a lot calmer, and pop out into the 5 knot zone around there. It's a good cafe. Let's keep going. I tell you, it's bloody nice being on a bigger ski again. Now I've just come around that island, and as I thought, it's clean as, you can get going, but you're still maxing out at about 103, 104 k's per hour. It's probably about 60 mile an hour. Now I still don't remember that name of that island, but when you get to here, there's a beautiful boat ramp in here. I'm not too sure what it's called. I've never launched there, but there's some amazing homes in this area. And obviously if you keep going around, you just hit a Omokoroa over there. So it's really handy if you launch in Tauranga or Mount Maunganui and you just want to have a bit of a burn over the harbour. Get yourself a coffee in the morning, pull into Omokoroa, and then burn back again. It's great fun. Just a heads up, when you're coming through Omokoroa, if you haven't done it before, you got to watch out down here, because there's a massive sandbar and it gets shallow so quick. You've nearly been caught out. Had a friend go across there, and suddenly you're in a foot of water with, you know, all sorts of mussel beds and everything. Okay, so this is where I like to pull in, this little beach here. I'll chuck the anchor on just in here, and then just on the other side of this yacht sports club is a nice little cafe. Really great spot in Omokoroa. Right, let's go get ourselves a coffee. Alma Eatery. Literally walking in with my weddy on and all my gear. Right, nice little donut cronut flat white scenario. People certainly look at you funny when you're walking like this. Which, yeah, again, just a great spot to stop. If you're in the mount in Tauranga and you've got a ski, just take yourself over here in the morning on a Saturday or a Sunday. It's great. Alright, let's get back in there. Still looking super clean. Get back on the water and see what happens. Now I've just come out of here, so that's the 5 knot zone, the other side of Omokoroa. Just go around this bend here, and then you're out of the 5 knot zone. You've just got to stay in the channel. Very important to stay in your channels in this area, otherwise you can get yourself in some low tide trouble. Alright, now for the uninitiated, this is Hunters Creek, so between two islands, and when you come through you end up in a ski lane. It goes all the way through. It's super smooth usually. Got to watch out a little bit at low tides. It's definitely a channel you got to go through, but it's a good place to come in if you just want to have a burn and also just have some guaranteed glassy water, or close to. So that's what we're doing today. We're just going to go in there and hope it's a bit of glass, and I can get the drone up and show you what it looks like from above. And this is also a 5 knot zone, so you've got to be careful. I just wanted to show you, it's such an amazing spot. This is Matakana Island, and quite often what I'll do after a long day's work in summer, you take the ski down to the ramp and you're down here in 5 minutes and it feels like you're on a different country. It feels like you're on a different planet, really. You have these beautiful pine trees, lovely little beaches, sunsets over the Kaimai ranges, which you can't really see, so you can quite often sit here in summer, maybe bring a non-alcoholic beverage and just sit there and watch the sunset. It's really fantastic, so it's a great place to come. You can see it's relatively, it doesn't get too shallow too quick, so you can beach up there, particularly high tide, it's great. We'll just keep going around further. But that's actually an old barge. It used to take vehicles across to Matakana Island. I don't know what happened to it. It's been there for a long time. It's just sort of sitting there just outside the channel. I actually flew a drone through that a long time ago and crashed it. Managed to retrieve it, but that was the first proper drone crash I ever had. Got a good bit of footage I was able to retrieve, but yeah, unfortunately it was a DJI drone down the drain. Let's put the drone up and show you what this looks like from the air. Well, I don't know if you saw that, but had a couple of big birds attack the drone. One of them nearly clipped it, and then the battery, thought I had a charged battery, and it went into critical, and then it started going home and I couldn't catch it, so I ended up just flying it to the closest beach. Sometimes you, so many things to charge, and remember, I thought I'd charged all the batteries, but they must have been sitting there discharging for a while. But this is what I'm talking about. These are the kind of little beaches you can come across. It's pretty stunning. Yeah, it's probably a good opportunity just for me to talk a little bit about the adventures coming up. And I think, I don't know if anyone's seen the therapy video I just recently did. A few weeks ago we had a bunch of us riding for Men's Mental Health, and it was easily one of the best days of my life. It was so much fun. Very proud of what we achieved there as a group, and I'm hoping that that event can sort of branch out in the coming years. It's the first time I've done anything like that, and any sort of event of that level. So it was interesting having to learn about all the permits and requirements and things like that, and quite a lot of work, but I know how to go about it. So if you're interested in doing that again for next year, interested in helping, maybe setting up something a bit different, maybe we branch out and just make it mental health instead. We can do anything with it. Therapy can turn into different things, but just amazing seeing you riding for charity, for a good cause, and you're really happy with that. But that's a kind of a good segue into the adventures I want to do. So I lost my dad earlier this year, so you know, he went through a bit, and he passed away in March, and yeah, it's a pretty tough time for the family, and as you can imagine, and that, I guess, on the back of a couple of hard years, is sort of led me to want to take a bit of time off. So end of the year I'm taking a little bit of time off work. Got a job that I really enjoy, but but I just want to go out and do some adventuring and see what happens, and just take some time to grieve and think about things. So for the most part, I'm in a pretty good space, but I definitely want to go out there and do a few things and have some joy. So I love doing this. For me, getting out in the water, even today, it's really good for my mental health, mental fitness, and just really gets me off the couch, gets me out into gets me into nature, and it sort of gets me away from that conservative side of me. So that's what I want to do. If you've got any ideas around the country, I'm not just talking locally, I want to go north, south, South Island, anywhere you think would be really cool to, I guess, get there, get out in the water. There's a good ramp. I need a good ramp to get out, and just places I can go explore to, islands, off the coast, lakes. Just please let me know in the comments what they might be. I've got some plans, and it's not just that. I want to do a little bit of travel as well, but let me know, please. Reach out in the comments. Northland's somewhere I want to hit first too. There's a few places up there. And there's obviously research you got to do, so it's helpful to have locals that can tell me, well, you can't go on that lake because of this, blah, 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 or watch out for this. And down south there's a few lakes I want to hit, but yeah, again, you've got to know some of them you can't even take a powerboat or jet ski onto. So that's the plan, and that's why I've got this rig set up, so I can actually attack any boat ramp in any situation. Hopefully, that's the plan. So anyway, I think that's probably about it. I'm really enjoying the ski. It's nice being back on a big ST3 hull, and already, I mean, it's maxing out at 100 and 304 Ks, but I can see this thing being an absolute beast once it unlocks itself, 5-hour mark. And I'm looking forward to that. Probably my wallet's not, the gas, but hey, it's all good. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time, hopefully on some really cool adventures.